Bar Leto was still a young man when the storm of war swept across the country. He lived quietly with his parents and older sister near Carthage, in the state of Tennessee. The Leto family were modest farmers. Their plot of land was small, their means limited, but though they never had wealth or slaves, they were never without food. The earth gave them enough to survive, and that was all they ever asked for. When the Civil War erupted, Bar was 22. The conflict divided not only the nation but households themselves. Parents quarreled with children, uncles with nephews, brothers with sisters, cousins with cousins. Loyalties split families apart as much as states. In the North, most people had come to see slavery as an evil that must end. In the South, where slavery had long been an accepted way of life, many resented the idea of Northern laws dictating how they should live. Bar Leto's heart was with the Union. His family, however, supported the Confederacy. The tension grew until he could no longer stay under the same roof. He would not take up arms for the Confederates, but he was determined to fight for the Union. And so, without protest or farewell from his family, he walked away from the farm and enlisted. He became a cavalryman. Battles raged across northern soil, and then swept southward. 2 long years passed before Bar found himself near Carthage again. That part of Tennessee had changed hands more than once. Union soldiers, then Confederates, then Union once more. The land bore scars of the conflict. Farms had been burned, plantations ruined, and blood spilled on every field. One day, Bar approached his commanding officer. "Sir, my family's farm is close by," he said quietly. "Might I visit them?" "You may have 2 days' leave," the officer granted. So Bar set out across the battered fields of Carthage. By the time he reached the familiar land, the sun had slipped behind the horizon. Shadows stretched long and dark across the ground. "Will they receive me?" he wondered. "I've been gone 2 years. Have their hearts softened? War changes people. I've seen and done terrible things myself. I am only 24, yet I feel like an old man." The moon climbed high and silver as he walked up to the house. The door stood open, but no candlelight flickered in the windows. Suddenly, a man stepped into the doorway. "Father!" Bar cried. His father looked at him, but gave no reply. Without a word, the old man turned and went back inside. Bar's heart sank. Still, he entered the house and stepped into the kitchen. His mother sat beside the hearth. No fire warmed the room. Only cold ash filled the fireplace. "Mother," he whispered. She lifted her eyes to him but made no sound. Bar moved closer, longing to touch her shoulder. Just then his sister entered. She stared at her brother for only a moment before turning on her heel and walking away. When Bar turned back, his mother too had slipped from the room. They wanted nothing to do with him. Silent and grief-stricken, Bar left the house. In the moonlight, the garden looked ghostly. The tall grass swayed as though it were moving beneath water, and the trees shifted under the restless wind. Shadows stretched and bent across the ground. It was a scene both sorrowful and strange. Tears stung Bar's eyes as he turned back toward the army camp. That night he slept little, and when he did, strange dreams troubled him. By morning, he wondered if he had truly walked to the farm at all, or had he only dreamed it? Did his family truly reject him, or was it only the shadow of his mind? Confused and restless, he resolved to return and see for certain. On the road he met an old friend, Bushrod Alro, a man he had known since boyhood and school days. "I'm going home," Bar told him eagerly. "I'll visit my family again." Bushrod glanced at him quickly, but kept silent. "They won't have changed their loyalties, I know that," Bar went on. "But at least I can see them." "I'll walk with you," Bushrod said at last. "We can talk as we go." But Bushrod did not talk. All the way to the farm he remained quiet. And when they arrived, Bar's steps slowed in shock. Where once had stood the farmhouse, there was nothing but charred ruins. The walls were broken and blackened, the doors and windows long gone. The furniture and everything inside had turned to ash. Bar stood frozen. "I didn't know how to tell you," Bushrod said gently. "There was a battle here about a year ago. Yankee shells struck your house. It burned to the ground." "My family?" Bar asked, voice trembling. Bushrod lowered his eyes. "They're in heaven, I hope. All of them were killed when the fire consumed the house." Bar could only stare at the ruins, his heart heavy with grief. Music fades. I hope you have enjoyed this reading. Please remember to like the video and subscribe to the channel.